Whichever way you're going, I'm going to go the other way. You going left here? No. Well, alright, don't worry about indicating then, chap. I'll just use the force to figure out where you're going. Oh dear. So here we are again on another leg of this wonderful UK tour of England. On the way from the West Midlands over East Anglia boy, via some hopefully bendy twisty roads and possibly a little bit of moisture from those rather angry looking cumulo ruin-your-deus clouds over there. It's all Simpsons here, isn't it? And it's all Mordor over there. It's been like this all day, and now when I've chosen to leave I'm going that way and same old story. Oh well, let's get on with it, shall we? Now why are you in the left lane and indicating right, my friend? That reeks of poor forward planning, if you ask me. This is rubbish, look at that, over there. This is just bloody typical me, gee, give me a break. That's just sick, this is just sick. We're going to be soaked now for the whole journey, brilliant. And this will stop in 10 minutes. I'm already bloody wet. My socks are wet, my elbows are wet, which is a bit weird. Ankles and my elbows, the first things to feel the moisture. That is ridiculous. I'm soaked now. Oh well, roll with the punches and carry on, don't you? It's not like it hasn't happened before. Dry one of my hands off on the engine, perhaps. Yeah, it's really hot. Just boiled my fingers. Boiling a bag phalanges. The road's not even really wet here. Shower just passed through. I think it's lost trying to catch up with April. Come on, son. I need a bit of drying action here. Come on. What have you got? Ah, Dobby's Garden World. Does it deserve a sign that big? Is it that much of a spectacle? Is it truly a world with only gardens? Tune in never to find out. Ooh, this is new. What a strange roundabout. It's like a roundabout. A bonabout. That's something very different. Yes, okay. Now I'm actually utilising on this trip the tried and tested, graphically presented system with just a list of road numbers and places. I've lost all faith in technology, but this tells me I'm going to need to turn left relatively soon into the wonderful market town of Lutterworth. Oh, Mother Hubbard. Oh dear. The wrong lane now, haven't I? Oh, very dear indeed. Look at that. It's a meteor, isn't it? Or at least a representation of one. The last time I was here was on the Phaser Forum ride-out, which started out just over there as far as I remember. Check out the Phaser Forum ride-out right here! Bloody good day that was. The weather was decidedly better than it is today, has to be said. Well, as I said at the beginning, I'm on the way to Cambridgeshire now. This leg of this journey, this leg of this tour, is actually the primary motivator for the whole thing, really. It just kind of sprung up out of nowhere because about 7 or 8 weeks ago, my dad was taken ill, ended up in hospital. He was in there for 4 weeks. I won't tell you exactly what happened. I'm sure he'd prefer me to keep his various frailties secret. But needless to say, he was in a spot of bother. Needed to spend some time in hospital because he needed to be there. And that was the part at which I found living abroad the absolute hardest. I had a phone call saying, your dad's in hospital. And at that point, there was nothing I could do. I was stuck in a position where I just simply could not leave the country, which was unbearable because all I wanted to do was to leave the country and rush to England, visit him in hospital, you know, just be by his bedside, just to be there. It was the hardest and one of the most horrible feelings I've ever had, just this complete powerlessness to do anything. I mean, obviously there was nothing I could do to help. The professionals were doing that already, and to be fair, done a fantastic job because he's still here, and to be completely honest, he has made quite an astounding recovery for what he's been through. He's doing very well indeed, but it was just agonizing to be essentially shackled in Germany. I couldn't come over. I didn't have just the means. I didn't have the opportunity to just. I just wanted to drop everything and leave, and not being able to do that was, yeah. I mean, I'm just smashing home the same point over and over. It was absolutely terrible, and because of that, the absolute first opportunity, the first real chance, I actually quit my job in Germany, booked a ferry ticket, jumped on the bike, and here I am. And I visited him on the way through, but I had to spend the first week actually working in London, pretty much to finance this operation, just to kind of to make it so that I could afford to be here, so that I could go and spend some time with him. So this is the part of this trip that kind of really means the most to me. I get to go and spend some time with my dad and just sit with him, just be there, just to be around him and spend the time that I was desperate to have done 6 weeks ago. And it almost, it killed me not to be able to. So the fact that I can actually go there now and just sit and chat shit and watch rubbish TV and drink coffee and just kind of, yeah, just be around him. I'm just really keen to get there and spend some time. I mean, there are lots of other parts of living abroad which have been quite hard. Obviously, I miss my family, I miss my friends, I miss speaking English and being able to understand those who speak around me. I mean, my German is coming along all the time, it's getting better and better and better, but it's still not perfect. I still find myself sometimes in crowds. It's just kind of, I hear and understand a lot of it, but then just gradually, it's like, I don't know, it's like being on a slippery surface that's just slowly being steepened, and you just gradually lose the grip, and you lose the grip, and then eventually you just let go completely, and it's like dropping underwater. Suddenly all you hear is white noise and you're lost. You can't hear any of it anymore. And there have been times when I've been in public situations with my girlfriend and she's just kind of turned to me and asked a question, and I'm like, Rain Man, I'm just miles away, and then everybody stops. It's like there's a reset button and then I'm back in the game again. You know, the slippery wall is reset, and then ding 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 ding, steadily as the conversation heats up and people start talking faster and more passionately about what they're chatting about, I lose the grip again, and I've slipped down the slippery slope of incomprehension into the deep watery pool of misunderstanding. So it's been a real refreshing part of this journey to be able to speak and understand all the time what's going on. Although I found myself stumbling to begin with. There were situations where I was chatting with my work colleagues and friends in London and just stumbling over my words, or they'd ask me a question and I'd think of the answer in German to start with. It was a bit ridiculous. Like, there were things they were asking about, so what are you doing at work at the moment? What's going on there? And I would think, well, what is the word for that thing that I'm doing in English? I couldn't think of it. It's really strange, really, really strange. But it's been a great reset to come back and be 100% English. Right, coming through here, John. Thanks very much. I think I've made some sort of a navigational error here somewhere. I don't think my route to Cambridgeshire goes through a Co-op and BM car park. That seems somewhat unlikely. It would be a desperate measure to try and get custom, wouldn't it? Having an A road through your car park. I wouldn't put it past Tesco's, to be honest. That does sound very throaty indeed. Is it? Is it fuel? There's where I went wrong. Should have gone left there. Looks like Throbby Bollocks is going straight on. Oh no. He's just got no indicators. Are you filtering throbby bollocks, or are you staying where you are? Bloody hell, everybody knows he's coming, don't they? But another thing I have found really tough about Germany is this lack of filtering. You know, I have been filtering. How cool is that? Well, I have been filtering, but on a very subdued, filtering light kind of style. Not very aggressive, never pushing all the way to the front, never doing anything when the traffic is moving, just because everybody's so negative about it. But here, it's such a breath of fresh air. People move out of the way. People give you space. People let you go past. People generally just, they are either indifferent and don't care about your filtering, or they're more than happy for you to do it. A little bit of a wrong side of the road action there. Well done, Andy. And there's still bell ends that pull out in front of you and don't look and don't indicate, but it's our job to look out for them, I'm afraid, folks. You can't expect everybody to be able to see where you are all the time if you're not meeting them halfway and doing at least half of the work. If somebody looks like they're not seeing you, just get out of their way. Don't shout at them when they pull out in front of you if you expected them to pull out in front of you anyway. It's your problem. It's your job to protect yourself in your piece of road space. To always give yourself a way out. You've always got to have a plan B. No point shouting at the car driver when he cuts off your only route to safety. Yeah, that ran over. So this is it then. Final stretch of the day. I'll be back into my old stomping ground. You can tell we're getting into East Anglia again. As you can see, about 1,000,000 miles in that direction. And you can see about 1,000,000 miles in that direction. And it's all flat. Yeah, that's right. But just downshift, bitches. Real nose for home now. Just about there. Just about done for the day. And the sunset to see me off, looks like. Oh, it's good to be back. Who needs a quick shifter, eh? And that's that. Home and dry. See you crazy mother hubbards tomorrow. Ta-ta!